Okay. I decided that I will do in series of 3. Usually it doesn't take a lot of time to unbox, but it's interesting to guess who you will get, especially like, touching and stuff. I actually have from the series White Rabbit. I have one of the cards, I think the black one. I have one of the Tweedledee or Tweedledum. I think it was Tweedledee. And I have the Queen of Hearts. So I really want this secret figure, and Cheshire Cat, this or that, probably this one a bit more, or Alice in the Cup. Don't care about this one that much, and cards are also fun, and maybe Tweedledum. Yeah, we will see who I'll get. I will need to order some more before they sell out. It's a very popular line, and you don't get much, but they're quite pricey. They go around like 20 Australian dollars in price, so I don't buy them very often because I have so many dolls that I want that usually it doesn't come to this. And so they have a card inside which will spoil the surprise, so I will try to guess whom I will get. I think I got another this one, which is a bummer, but it's a really nice figure, to be honest. So yeah, I got another rabbit. That's okay. I actually really like it, so I will probably keep it in the packaging just because, yeah, I have one, so there is no need to open this one. And if you want to look at it assembled, I will bring it in a second and I will just show you how it would look like. And this is how he would look like fully assembled. It's a really nice figure. I actually really like it. So I think with the rabbit, if you're using them for display, for example, it's really interesting because then you can use them in different parts, if you do a display. So I don't actually mind that I got the double of this particular one because I think it's fun and you can just repurpose it and make it, or just sell it. But I usually don't like to sell even my doubles, which is a really strange thing. And now we have these little Voyagers ones, and from here I really want a cockatoo, a cat, and a fish. I probably want fish the most, but yeah, we will see whom I will get. And one of them is much heavier than the other ones. And by the way, I forgot to show you, and this is the card which shows you who is inside. Okay, so let's open it up. They also have a card, so I'm not picking. And this is, wow, they're like really huge. This figure is really huge. So I'm actually usually really good at guessing who this is. I think that's a cat, which would be really cool. No, I was wrong. That's a frog. They are so cool. I actually didn't realize that they are this like huge. Like compare this and this. They are really huge. They're a bit more expensive, but they're so cool and really neat. They are not actually that heavy. It's just they're like huge. They probably weigh the same weight as the other one. And these are, I think, glow in the dark. So I don't know if you can. Yeah, probably not. I will need to charge them and try to film how they would look like. Yay, I got I actually don't mind any of them, but it's just I like the fish and the cockatoo and the cat a little bit more than the rest. I don't like hamster that much. Raccoon is also okay. So, okay. And the card, sorry. I forgot to get the card out. And it says frog. Little Voyagers. Wow, there is a story about this frog. In order to be honest with others, you must first be honest with you. Let's read it together. Every time Frog met a new animal, he told the same story. I am the funniest frog in the pond where I come from," he would say. "My whole life all the other frogs laughed at my jokes. The entire pond always quieted down every time it seemed like I might speak, because I always had the most clever observations, the best puns, and the most endearing sense of humor." Frog had told this story to a cat and a fish and even a raccoon, but late at night, at the end of a long day in a corner of the world, Frog was always new to. He was alone with the truth of his story. No one back home thought he was funny. No one in his pond loved him. He had not left his home to go on tour with his comedy, but to simply make one true friend. The frogs... a really sad story. The frogs where he was from had shown him many things, but love was not one of them. He had told jokes to his mother and father in hopes that they might love him, but his jokes rarely made them crack a smile. "You should be more serious," they told him. "Life will be hard with a personality like yours. Try to be normal like the other frogs. Do well in school. This will take you far in life." But Frog was not smart enough to do well in school, and every time he tried to be normal, he only embarrassed himself. Many people can relate to that. Frog had left his home because in his heart he knew no one there loved him. He had believed if he wandered out into the world, he would find love from other animals. But if the cat, the fish, or the raccoon had laughed at his jokes, none had laughed hard enough to say the words Frog longed to hear, "Will you be my friend?" As Frog fell asleep, he decided that tomorrow he would start telling the truth. It would be scary, but it was the only thing he could think to do. In order to be honest with others, you must first be honest with yourself. Okay, I think this is a really beautiful and really sad message. The honesty is like you have to be comfortable with yourself first to have any friends. So if you're comfortable to be alone, that means that you will be okay with other people around you. But if you are not really comfortable to be on your own, from my experience, then that might be something that you might consider. Okay, let's look at the other figure and then we will see the other story. Oh, I got the fish. Yeah, I got the fish. I'm so... And look, it turns. I really want that fish, so I am so happy. Look at this fish. I mean, I'm actually really happy that it's a fish and a frog, because they are like aquatic animals. And also, I don't know, to me it's like I would have loved to have a cacti as well, but these two already is good enough. So if this series would sell out, because when I was ordering there were like 5 more left, so I wouldn't be as sad if I wouldn't get a cacti, but that's basically the only one that I need from this series that I really wanted, because cacti is kind of neutral. But I love water animals and fish and birds, so that's actually really funny. I love fish and I love birds. So let's look at the story of a fish. And I really love that they come with the stories. I think the most interesting part about this series is that they actually come with stories that you can read. And this is the card. And I really need to look into this series. I didn't know that they have stories. Okay, the final message. Be generous with what you own. Sharing what you have will make you happier. That's true. That's so true. It goes to charity. If you do a charity, it's actually really fulfilling. Just saying. Okay, let's read the story. The sun had set, the moon was rising, and Fish was ready to unwind. He poured bubbles into his bathtub. He's really really royal and rich. Yeah, pouring bubbles into the bathtub, it's like... He poured bubbles into his bathtub, dropped in a few of his favorite essential oils, and soaked in the warm water. Ah, he said out loud as Raccoon looked at him from the rock where he sat. It had been Raccoon who pulled fish all day, every day. Raccoon's feet had calluses, I have no idea how to pronounce this word, and his body ached. But still Fish insisted that it was he who deserved to have a nice bubble bath and let the day's worries drift away. Okay, he's also really selfish. After all, he was the one who had found the bathtub in the first place, and he was the one who had given Raccoon the opportunity to travel the world by pulling him around. What a jerk. Haha. The sights they had seen. Raccoon might be exhausted now, Fish thought, but one day when they reached the ocean, he would be grateful for these memories. I doubt that, man. So Fish leaned back, sawed his fins, and closed his eyes. But with his eyes closed, he still imagined Raccoon just feet away, cold without a blanket, frightened by the predators that might lurk in the trees, missing his home just as much as Fish missed his own. Fish squeezed his eyes tighter, trying to erase this image of Raccoon, but the tighter he squeezed, the more he could feel Raccoon's emotions. His fear of Fish every time Fish yelled at him, his anger at himself for always making mistakes. And what did Raccoon earn at the end of the day? A cold hard rock to sleep upon. Say, Raccoon, Fish said, his eyes bursting open. How about we trade places? Raccoon looked at him in wide-eyed disbelief. You can sleep in the bathtub tonight and I'll sleep on that rock. But don't get any ideas. This is for one night only. Raccoon meekly walked towards the bathtub, and Fish flopped out of it. Thank you, Fish, Raccoon said. Fish grunted. He sat on the rock, then lay down on his belly, and then on his side. It took him a while to find a comfortable position, but finally he did. This time, as he closed his eyes, he didn't think of Raccoon's worries, and he didn't think of his own. For the first time in a long time, he fell into a deep, quiet, blissful sleep. Interesting. That Fish is still a jerk, but okay, it's time for us to pick a favorite out of these two, and it's really hard. I'm not taking the rabbit because I have it, so it's already out. And out of these two, oh man, this is so hard. I have no idea how to choose because I really like his story. And I felt really sad for him, and I was immediately like, okay, I will be a friend, because, yeah, you are just seem to be so lonely, and you are so nice. And this one is kind of not a really nice person. It's not a person, it's a fish, but it's not a really well-behaved fish, so... But at the end, he did the right thing, so I'm like, probably I will go with the fish, because there is maybe a larger development of a character of the story, and it has this really cool rolling wheels, so why you wouldn't love this? But really, this series is, I'm so impressed by it. I'm so in love with the little Voyagers, and I think that's why it sell out really fast. Yeah, I would definitely be buying more of these because I just love them. I think they're really cool. And they come with really cool stories, which is very unusual for Pop Mart figures. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you next time. And yeah, please let me know which one was your favorite and which story did you like the most. Bye!